The receipt prints a little slower than expected and curls at the edge of the counter. The total sits under what the account balance showed that morning. The card goes back into the wallet without any sense of loss. The day continues. Nothing about the moment registers as financial. It feels logistical. You paid for something you needed, or something adjacent to needing, and the system confirmed it went through. Later, the charge posts. It becomes a line among other lines. The category label is vague enough to be comforting. It does not demand attention. The number is small enough to ignore, especially compared to rent, or the student loan, or the insurance premium that clears once a month and then disappears from thought. This one lives in the quiet space between those larger movements. It does not feel like a choice. It feels like background noise. By the end of the week, there are 6 of those lines. None of them look significant on their own. Together, they add up to a number that still does not feel large because it never had to be faced all at once. It was absorbed incrementally. Each transaction arrived after a day of work, after effort had already been spent. The money did not feel earned in that moment. It felt already allocated to being spent. The math shows up later, usually by accident, a glance at the monthly summary while waiting for something else to load. The category total is higher than expected, but only slightly. It still fits inside what you consider reasonable. It still fits inside the story that things are under control. The number does not cause stress. It causes mild surprise, which passes. That mild surprise has a shape. It is the feeling of discovering that your baseline has moved. What used to be an occasional expense has become routine without ceremony. It did not require a decision. It required repetition. The repetition created familiarity, and familiarity created a sense of safety. The spending stopped feeling like movement and started feeling like stillness. The numbers themselves are not dramatic. 48 here, 72 there, a few hundred by the end of the month that you would not have predicted if asked directly. But prediction is not how this system works. These expenses are not forecasted. They are accepted after the fact. They pass a quick internal test that asks whether life would feel worse without them. The answer is usually yes, but only in small ways. What matters is not the amount, but what it replaces. That few hundred does not come from nowhere. It comes from the margin that never quite gets named. The margin that could have become savings, or flexibility, or time bought back later. Instead, it dissolves into the present. The present is always convincing. It has needs, it has friction, it has reasons. This is where the tension lives. The lifestyle does not feel expensive. It feels normal. It feels earned. It feels proportional to the effort put in. The account balance rarely drops into danger. Bills clear. The credit score stays intact. On paper, nothing is wrong. Just progress never seems to start. The quiet part is that risk is being redefined during this period. Not consciously, not in language. It happens through sensation. Risk becomes anything that threatens the current arrangement, anything that introduces temporary discomfort, anything that interrupts the rhythm that has been stabilized through spending. The lifestyle is no longer something you have. It is something you protect. A larger expense appears on the horizon. Not urgent, not mandatory, something that would change the structure slightly. The reaction is hesitation that feels like prudence. The numbers get reviewed more carefully than usual. The same account that absorbed hundreds in fragments now feels tight when faced with a single deliberate allocation. The money did not change. The perception did. This is the part that rarely gets noticed. The lifestyle trains the nervous system. It sets expectations about how money should move and how quickly comfort should return after effort. Once those expectations are in place, anything that delays comfort feels unsafe, even if it improves the long-term position. The risk is not financial, it is psychological. People who are genuinely stable experience the same moment differently. The receipt still curls, the category totals still add up, but the baseline is anchored elsewhere. Their sense of normal includes unused capacity, a buffer that is not earmarked for immediate relief. When they encounter the larger expense, it does not feel like a threat to identity or routine. It feels like a reallocation within an already flexible system. This difference is not visible from the outside. The coffee looks the same. The apartment looks similar. The pace of life does not announce it. The separation happens internally, at the level of what feels risky and what feels neutral. One person experiences change as instability. One person experiences it as adjustment. Settling into a lifestyle is not a single act. It is a series of confirmations. Each time spending removes a small discomfort, the arrangement is reinforced. Each time the month closes without crisis, the structure feels justified. Over time, the lifestyle becomes the reference point against which all future decisions are measured. Growth begins to look like deviation. Eventually, the realization arrives quietly, not as panic, not as regret, just as recognition. The reason progress feels distant is not lack of income or discipline. It's that the present has been optimized too well. The comfort has been calibrated so precisely that anything beyond it feels like risk, even when it is the opposite. If this resonates, you can subscribe and keep watching.